I've already talked about who can shoot at aircraft, and that includes helicopters and strike aircraft, in another video, so I'm not going to cover that here. What this video is more about is how many dice do you get and when can you shoot. So the only weapons that are going to get their full rate of fire are 3. Other weapons, if they can shoot at these, only get 1 die. So those 3 weapons are dedicated AA. So if you look here in our notes, it says dedicated AA. So that means if this Shilka does not move, it's going to get 6 dice. If it does move, it's going to get 4 dice to shoot at an aircraft. The second weapon to look at is guided AA. So if this gremlin team does not move, they get 3 dice to shoot at this aircraft, or aircrafts. And the last one would be aircraft weapons. They can shoot at other aircraft, except for salvo. It never affects aircraft, artillery or salvo. So if it's within 8 inches of a helicopter, because there it is, it can shoot 3 dice at that helicopter. If it's further away, we can try this. So those are the ones that are going to get their full rate of fire. Dedicated AA, guided AA, and aircraft weapons. So that means that if this infantry team up here wants to shoot at the aircraft with something like this gun here, they're only going to get 1 shot. As long as it's not a heavy weapon. I already gone over that, so this one can't even shoot at it. If they want to shoot at it, 1 shot. Okay? So remember, infantry can shoot, except for their heavy weapon, but it's a 1 shot. Anti-helicopters can shoot at helicopters, and they only get 1 die unless it says something like dedicated AA. Now, I will also say that those weapons that are rate of fire of 1 already and wants to shoot at an aircraft, it's a +1 to hit, because you're dropping some of these down from a 3 to a 1 shot. So if it's a 1-shot weapon and you want to shoot an aircraft with it, it's 1 harder to hit that aircraft. That's just like that slow firing thing I went over in my previous video. So let's look at this situation. I'm going to bring in a couple of hinds, and boy, that's really up there. And we'll have this, and we're going to bring in 4 Shilkas. All right, so here's the Shilkas. Target-rich environment here for the Shilkas. Now, they are dedicated AA, so they're going to get either 6 dice or 4 dice each to shoot at these targets. So it's the Shilka's turn. They moved, so each of them are going to get 4 dice to shoot at whatever target they want to shoot at. So that one gets 4. This one gets 4, 4, and 4. And they're out in the open, so it's whatever it takes to hit them. Now, I've already gone over concealment, about tall terrain's needed, short terrain doesn't help. If there's smoke, only if you're within 4 inches of it does it help give you concealment in them from shooting. So be careful of that. And I've already gone over all that in the other video about concealment and gone to ground. So we're just going to pretend like they're in the open. Now on this player's turn, they can shoot anytime on their turn and shoot the aircraft. So they can go, I'm going to shoot these at the hinds. So they just pick all these up, trying to roll 3s. Some reason this is Soviets against Soviets. And we're just going to take out, wow, there we go. So didn't miss very much. And then these get allocated out, which I'll go over in another video. If they did not move, they'd each get 6 dice. So let's say this is a situation, and of course these guys actually won't be there on your turn, so I'm going to take those away. So now each of those are going to get 2 more dice for a total of 24 dice, needing 3s to hit the hinds. and so forth. So how many hits did we get? Take out the misses. It's always good just take out the misses and leave the hits on the table so the opponent can see, yeah, those were hits. Because if you start taking off the hits, they're like, wait, was that really a hit? So if you just leave it like that, opponent can see, yep, those were all hits, and then those will get allocated out. All right, so you can do that. Now, let's switch it to the opponent's turn. So this is what's happening on the opponent's turn. The strike aircraft wouldn't have been out there on their turn. All right, so the opponent's turn. These cannot shoot at any of these until they're ready to shoot. So let's say the hinds are getting ready to shoot. Now they can trigger, they can shoot. They're legal to be able to shoot on the opponent's turn at aircraft. So they moved last turn. So are they halted or moving? Well, if it's the opponent's turn, you're always considered to have been halted. So they're going to get those 6 dice. And they're just whatever it normally takes to hit them. 3s, if it's concealed, it's 4, and so forth. And they'll just roll the hit. And then it gets allocated out. One thing that you can do is you can say, I'm only going to have these 2 shoot. They are not. And I'll show you why you may want to do that. So, those that shoot on the opponent's turn, let's say it's these 2. So they're each going to get 6 dice. So that's 12 dice coming at the hinds. There we go. Needing 3s. And take out the misses. And then we mark them. Mark that they've shot on the opponent's turn. On your turn, you don't mark them. On the opponent's turn, mark them. This is how many hit. They're going to get allocated out to those hinds. They have not shot. Now, why would you not shoot these? Well, one of the things is, if you shoot and let's say you only hit once, you're like, oh boy, that was not what I wanted. They're going to shoot at them now. You can't do that. Before any rolls are made for shooting, what is each of these going to do? They're going to shoot, they're not, so they cannot shoot at the hinds this turn. So keep that in mind. Now, they shot, and let's say they took 1 out and so forth. Boom, 1's gone. Now the frogfoot are going to shoot. These 2 can shoot at the frogfoot, they cannot. That's why you may want to do part of them into something and save the others for other aircraft that may be around. So they're like, oh, they're not moved. They're going to get 6 shots each. So let's see how this works out. And also mark them now that they've shot theirs. They need 3s to hit. Take out the misses. And then these get allocated out. Now I will also say that there is one weapon that cannot shoot in the opponent's turn. So it's the frogfoot hind's turn, and this person wants to shoot, and you know what? These didn't do anything. Maybe they took 1 out, and there's still 1 there, and they're like, oh, I need to take that out, otherwise I may lose the game because it'll take out my tank holding the objective. Well, luckily, there were some BMP-2s over here, so we'll just throw them here, and they're in range of them, and they're going to shoot, and let's see. Oh, they have guided, so they can shoot at aircraft. Wrong. They can, but not in the opponent's turn. So remember, there is a difference between guided AA, which can shoot in the opponent's turn. Guided cannot. But they still can shoot at aircraft on your turn. So be careful with that guided. And also remember with guided weapons, they cannot shoot at them. Now guided AA can, because it has the AA name in it, but they can only shoot at helicopters, the guided. So keep that in mind about the difference between who can shoot at helicopters and who can shoot at strike aircraft. Last thing I want to cover, and I'm going to move these out of the way, is something with like the Abrams. And here they come. Now, if we look at the Abrams, they have 2 AA machine guns compared to the T-74, which only has 1. So this one, if they're going to shoot, they shoot out 20 inches and they get 1 die because it's not dedicated or anything like that. It's just AA, so it's going to be 1 die. They're going to get 2 dice. So each of these is going to get 2 dice. Now the important thing to remember about this is they got different fire powers, so you want to be clear which die is which fire power. So a lot of times I'll go red, white, and red, white, and the red is the more powerful one, the white is that one. And if there's a third weapon, I'd do blue, red, white, blue. Kind of makes it simple. So then you would roll these. They're needing 3s to hit. And if we look, we got 2 of the high-powered ones and 2 are the lower, I should say, firepower. 2 of the good fire powers and 2 this, and they would get allocated out. And then I'll go over what firepower does when we get to that video. So just if it has different fire powers, as in the Abrams, you'll want to somehow designate what dice those are before you roll. Because I wouldn't want to go, let's see, I get 2 shots each, so that's 6 shots. I'm going to roll these, and oh, let me do this. Let me get a little better. Oh my gosh. One last time. There we go. Which of these, since they're all the same color, which were to 5+ and which were to 6+? So be cognizant of that, and this way it stops any arguments. Let your opponent know which die is which. Just don't roll them and go, okay, these were the high ones. Let them know before. And so that is shooting at aircraft.